Good morning. My name is Maureen Chung. Welcome to Daily Devotional of August the 28th. The Bible passage is 1 Samuel chapter 21, verse 10 to 15, and then the title is Pretended to be Insane. Saul made many attempts on David's life, but David's wife, Michal, who was Saul's daughter, sent him away before Saul's men arrived to kill him. Then there was Jonathan, Saul's eldest son, who sent David away knowing Saul's determination to have David killed. David became a fugitive and ran to the Philistine city of Gath. Here is what happened in the enemy city as recorded in 1 Samuel chapter 21 verse 10 to 15. That day David fled from Saul and went to Achish, king of Gath. But the servants of Achish said to him, "Isn't this David, the king of the land? Isn't he the one they sing about in their dances? Saul had slain his thousands and David his tens of thousands." David took these words to heart and was very much afraid of Achish, king of Gath. So he pretended to be insane in their presence, and while he was in their hands, he acted like a madman, making marks on the door of the gate and letting saliva run down his beard. Achish said to his servants, "Look at the man. He's insane. Why bring him to me? Am I so short of madmen that you have to bring this fellow here to carry on like this in front of me? Must this man come into my house?" David actually was hard-pressed on both sides. Saul was in pursuit to kill him. So staying in Israel was not an option. But the Philistines had been David's enemies since the killing of Goliath, and he had killed many of them in battles. At Gath, the servants of King Achish recognized David. Their comment was frightening to David. They said, "Isn't this David, the king of the land? Isn't he the one they sing about in their dances? Saul had slain his thousands and David his tens of thousands." Verse 11. First, they called David the king of the land because of his many victories and popularity among the Israelites. Second, David had slain tens of thousands of their own Philistinian people, making him the worst of their enemies. Now David had arrived at their city alone. It would be a good time to take revenge. Therefore, staying with the Philistines was not an option either. How could David survive the present danger? David pretended to be insane. Achish didn't want a madman around, so David escaped from Gath to the cave of Adullam. David was on the run as a fugitive. David the poet composed Psalm 56 about his experience in Gath. Listen to his heartstring. "Be merciful to me, my God, for my enemies are in hot pursuit. All day long they press their attack. My adversaries pursue me all day long. In their pride, many are attacking me. When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise, in God I trust and am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? All day long they twist my words. All their schemes are for my ruin. They conspire, they lurk, they watch my steps, hoping to take my life. Because of their wickedness, do not let them escape. In your anger, God, bring the nations down. Record my misery. List my tears on your scroll, or put my tears in your wineskin. Are they not in your record? Then my enemies will turn back when I call for help. By this I will know that God is for me. In God, whose word I praise, in the Lord, whose word I praise, in God I trust and am not afraid. What can man do to me? I am under vows to you, my God. I will present my thank offerings to you, for you have delivered me from death and my feet from stumbling. that I may walk before God in the light of life. David appealed to God for help because he was physically pursued by his relentless attackers. These proud attackers also pursued him non-stop with slanders. So David was under emotional stress too. The tongue is a sharp weapon. In fear, David trusted in God, for God's promise was trustworthy. Human beings cannot stand against God. The slanders against David were made up by twisting his words, so they were eager to take his life. David called for God to exercise justice. Record my lament, David says. Put my tears in your wineskin. Verse 8. Assured of being heard, David gave thanks to God for his deliverance from death and his enjoyment of the gift of life. David went away with a peace of mind. What have I learned? From time to time, we fall into the situation of David, hard-pressed from all sides. Although we may not be physically in danger, but emotionally we endure slanders made up from the twisting of our words. What can we do? It is a waste of time mounting a rebuttal about every slander. We leave it to God to exercise justice. He knows our heartbreaks and our tears. Romans chapter 12 verse 19 says, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, 'It is mine to avenge, I will repay,' says the Lord." So having laid the matter in the hands of God, we walk away in peace. The outcome doesn't matter, for the assurance that God has heard is good enough. Maybe it is time for each of us to write our own Psalm 56. Go try, and God bless. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Thank you.